Okay, now I want to get one more glaze down here at the horizon, grading from the horizon back up into this blue. And I'm just using the same color here. It's a little bit of raw sienna and a little bit of red and a lot of white. And it's pretty thin. I don't want too much down here, but I do want it up here in the blue a little more. Okay, now this kind of brush stroke I'm using here on a glaze, this is called Scumbling, and it's like rubbing. You're sort of rubbing the pigment into the pores as evenly as you can with a very light coat. Doesn't have to be perfectly even. You want a little bit of, it looks a little more atmospheric, I think, when you get a little bit of variation in that Scumbling grade. I'm going to let that set a minute. I'm going to take some of that back out. Yeah, it's getting better. Okay, one more thing I want to do here before we leave this sky and head down to the horizon is start getting some of my highlights in the cloud edges up in here. Start getting some modeling of highlights down in this area in here. So I'm going to go back to that same mix with the white, raw sienna, more white, a little red. Keep it pretty warm. Keep it more towards the red than to the yellow, because you have to be real careful with the raw sienna getting on top of the blue. If it's real thin yet and there's too much blue coming through, it turns green. But what we want to do is just kind of go around and highlight the edges, since these clouds are backlit. Now, I'm going back, I have my reference right up above me here, so I'm just trying to mimic the shapes of the highlight cloud area right now. frankly, it's not real clear in my reference photo here, so I'm sort of making this up. I'm just getting some pigment on there. And again, we're going to leave that set on there for a while. And then we're going to come back and blend it in. Now these clouds over here have the middles filled in. Let's see if this one we're going to fill in the middle. So this is like a gradual building process. We have a form to start with, and we keep going back and adding layers and transparent layers on top of one another. Start to model some of these cloud shapes we have going on down at the horizon. Some more cumulus type formations down there. That set up for a little bit. Okay, that's set up a few minutes now. I'm going to start going back in with my finger and blending some of these shapes out. So your finger is one of the best blending tools that you have. I'm just trying to feather in to our original middle gray value there. Now I'm using my finger to lift out that color. What we want to get is the edges of this thing highlighted so it looks like the sun is right behind them.